You didn't go from one viral video to literally increasing 1,000 followers. You went one viral video, then another, then another, and then another, and then another, and then another. And then now your audience is growing steadily over time.
Before joining Creator College, I was struggling a lot and I was just posting constantly like for a week, and then I was just lacking because I have this meeting of this responsibility to take care.
13,000 followers heading into the VIP coaching. At this current time, 74,000 followers, meaning that in a short span of time, you went from emerging creator to an advanced creator, which is unreal.
I stopped to think in numbers and start to think that they are real people. Like they are human beings who want to connect.
Vero, thank you so much for joining us for today's Spotlight. You were an exceptional student of ours. I've actually known you for quite some time in a previous program, and it was awesome to see and witness your growth throughout Creator College. And you have such a great energy about you. It's so easy to champion you and really support. So I want to be able to highlight your entire process here with us and everything that you've learned, et cetera. And we will do that. But before we do, I first want people to know who you are. So give us some context in regards to where you were before Creator College. Were you creating content before? And what was your full-time responsibilities? As in, I know what they were, but tell the audience right now. So tell me some of the existing prompts that you had as a creator, and alongside, what were you doing full time at that time?
Well, before joining Creator College, I used to do content when I was like 13. And I was enjoying all these social media things around that. And I was super happy to it, but I never was disciplined or I never had any plan to do it. So even when I have this capability to grow up audience and to make great videos, I didn't have any plan. I didn't have any structure. I was super lost. And even when I have some accounts that perform really good, they were never solid. Like I never had this community. So it wasn't sustainable in certain times. So I was always stuck. I started over and over again and it never works. So before joining Creator College, I was working like full time, 14 hours per week. And I'm studying law currently too. And I have other extra jobs. So I didn't have the time. But I know you before Creator College. Like I heard about him and I knew that this was gonna be good. Like I needed this like focus and strategy to get through. And I knew there was more to really be surrounded by people who have the same mentality to this is possible. Because sometimes it's more about the mentality and the focus around it, the thing instead, you know? So I joined Creator College and it was a game changer completely. Like these people here knew what they wanted to do. And yes, so yeah.
You're the perfect representation of one, just an absolute powerhouse, right? Because most people, if they had 40 hours of work in terms of also studying law full time and having these side jobs, content creation would probably be a very, very, very low priority for them. You, however, was someone that was excited about this process, really wanted to be a part of it. And once you were inside of it, you're exactly right. You're a perfect example of someone that has the talent, but can we mold it so that you have a system or a plan so that that energy can be poured in the right direction, that you can remain consistent, ensure that the audience is aligned with you. So I'm so happy that you've given that context. And again, I am so unbelievably proud of you from a human level. Now, when you were thinking about Creator College in this VIP coaching, what were some of your expectations heading in?
To be honest, I didn't have like any specific, like my expectations, I didn't have any specific ones because I knew that my mind was really into other things of my life. But inner side, I was like, let's give it a chance. Like I know that this can work if I'm in the right place with the right people because that's how things work in life, right? So I didn't have any expectation, but I knew that the people that was handled this, like the coaches, that how this was created before, because I saw that in like building in process time, something good is gonna happen from this. But I didn't have like any specific expectation by that time. And that was better, to be honest. Like
Yeah. What was your follower count? Do you remember what it was before you joined Creator College, around how many
Ye-
followers you had at that time?
yes, before joining Creator College, I have 13,000 followers, more or less. I was by that time. But they were completely dead. Like, that wasn't any community at all. I was like, you know what? You pass so many years just collecting followers because you do this and this, but they weren't active at all. Like, my Instagram, like, story views was like 1,000 people from 13,000, you know? So,
And this is a very normal occurrence that happens. And you're pointing it out for a lot of creators that I'm sure will experience this, where if you don't build the audience intentionally, then even if they do amass over time, it doesn't necessarily have the same type of value. It doesn't have the same type of alignment. And then it's really difficult to see where do I take this audience can I take them along this new journey that I have with myself and the progression of my life. So it's awesome that you knew that, okay, I have some talent for this content creation thing, obviously, because you've been doing it for so long, but how can you go ahead and build the right foundation? So once you've joined the VIP coaching, tell me in regards to, were there particular things that we went over together that stood out to you? Were there certain practices, or was it something that a coach had said? I'm just curious to know what had stood out to you and acted as a, let's say, a full light bulb moment for you, even as in you didn't know it before, then you applied and you realized, okay, wow, this is really powerful for me.
I have this thing that was the most powerful thing that I learned from career college, and is that social media is not just about aesthetics, it's about impact. And when you make that change in the mindset that you have with the things that you create, you're gonna have more powerful impact in the people that you want to surround there. Like it doesn't matter if the video have just 5 views, but if that 5 views are real people that I connected with you, trust me, that is gonna be so much more sustainable in time that if you have like 1 million views and there's no one who really connect with you because I had in the past those videos like super viral that didn't mean anything to me. That didn't change my life. That didn't change my mindset. That didn't bring people around me who say like, you know what, I connect with you. So let's go and rock this world and change mindset and, all these revolutionary things. They make you have the courage to really say, even the days that I don't want to create, I know that there's people out there waiting for me because they feel inspired by me. So let's do it, you know?
I love it. And that is what I hope. I hope whoever's listening to this repeats that part that you've just said 10 times over, because a lot of people starting on will try to look like a good piece of content. They'll care so much about the aesthetics or the production level. They'll make sure that everything about it looks great. But then at the end of the day, what is the substance to it? What is the value that's being provided to your audience? And how do you ensure that the messaging that you want to deliver to the world is being heard and being seen? So the idea of impact was a huge one where you picked up on it really well. And I'm curious, when you're saying make an impact, a lot of people that's listening to this want to do the exact same thing, but they don't know how. So when you were talking about, I've learned how to actually curate impact in my content, what did that look like for you? What type of content were you curating that really changed this for you?
For me, change that I stopped to think in numbers and start to think that they are real people. Like they are human beings who want to connect. That's why social media. Like people completely forgot the real meaning of social media. And is that people have the desire to socialize, to connect with something, far away from the real lives, and really feel that they are like having this connection with someone else. So I think that everyone always think in numbers, and I understand that because I was in that place. Like I went for so many times in that place, but they are real people. They are not numbers. And when you make that shift, you can like see everything in a different way. The things that you create, how you say the things, how you pose, and even if you are starting like to think and make a product, to sell something, you have to think they are people. They are not just numbers. So I think that that was the change to really feel that I was doing an impact, that I was connecting with real people. There's real people was listening to me. So yeah.
And when I had started to see one of your initial videos that had gone ultra viral, we were keeping very close tabs to it. And it was about your story, the ability to showcase some of the pain that you were experiencing during that period of time. And it's everything that you're talking about right now, real impact, because how do humans connect with other humans? It's not just by pure aesthetics or how awesome and powerful you are in your successes, but how did you get to your successes? How are you someone that's been able to juggle so much in your life? And the moment that video went out and I saw it, and it was the ability to showcase that story that we talk so heavily about. One, I felt so proud, but then the results kind of carried through and it started to grow more and more in traction. How did that feel when you've been viral before? And I've seen it before. We've worked together, and I know that you've created content in the past where you've even had really big accounts that you've let go of entirely because they weren't the right audience. But now, when the views started to come in and the followers started to come in and DMs started to come in and comments started to come in, but it was actually akin to the things that you've struggled with. It's akin to your story. How did that feel for you? Did that feel really good? As in, like, aha, like this is the aligned audience that I was looking for?
I feel scared, to be honest,
Okay, yes.
because for the first time I was being real. I was being completely me. And I say, okay, I'm scared because there's many people who is seeing me for who I am, They are not just seeing the aesthetic things. But then when I started to read the message and see how many girls were in the same position that I used to be, it was like, this was the thing, This was the thing that we were talking about when we were doing the creator vision, arming the message, the final message and all that. This was the result. Like it was just follow like the right steps and knowing how to tell the story in a right way. That was the result. So at first I was scared, but then I say like, this is what I like. The result of those all this effort, like it's paying off. So yes.
There's so many success stories to be pulling from you. You were one of the great ones. Now, one that I believe goes unseen a lot of times is the actual efficiency in the process that you're making content. Because for you, as someone that's battling a full-time job alongside everything else that you're doing, alongside you're a 21-year-old, happy late birthday, by the way. So you also have your hobbies and your passions and your social life that you're trying to stay akin to. How are you able to then create content on a regular basis so you can show up for your audience? That transition is one that a lot of people don't see from the outskirts, but it's really important for a creator so that they don't burn out. The thing that I always say is that my job is to care about you, your job is to care about your audience. So for you, the whole promise was how can we try and get this to be systematic for yourself, that you feel comfortable, that you know what type of content you're curating, and when you post it, it doesn't take you forever. So can you take me through that? Before Creator College, what was the process of you curating? How long was it taking on average? And then when you're inside of the VIP program, and now that you've gotten the real practice reps with it, how long is it taking for you to make a piece of content?
This is a super good question because before joining Creator College, I was struggling a lot and I was just posting constantly like for a week, and then I was just lacking because I have this meeting of this responsibility to take care, and I didn't have any planet, and I was just okay, let's do this trend, let's try this video, but I didn't have any organized. So at the end, when you don't have like the right info to have feedback, you can have a real like an effective strategy to do. Then when I joined Creator College, like just with the researches they are in the page, everything was working for me. Like I just went to the classes for the classes, and while you were doing like the workshops, I was doing my job of the thing that I learned from the class. And I was
Right.
immediately taking action because I knew that then I'm not gonna go have time. So it's really be prioritizing the information, taking care of it, and don't think in the result. Just think and do it. Because then you're gonna have the feedback enough to really start to doing the things by your own. That's the key. That was the key for me. I was literally dedicating just the hours of the classes, and that's it. Because then I have to go to work. So when I started to do that, I saw the results. I remember that in my page in Discord, I was outdating the coaches and everything, how my process and everything. And the first week, I didn't show many results. But I said, and I have the screenshot of this, I know that this week doesn't look good, but I know that the next one is gonna have like this and this and this result. And trust me, that the next week I have this and this and this result. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it because it's a system, and system gives you results.
There was so much in regards to that you're talking about from a consistency level that you've been able to peel back, right? So everyone knows that being consistent is the winning formula on social media, but no one ever talks about what that really entails. And you're talking about something completely different, which is everyone's so focused on the output of I need to get a video out, but they don't talk about the inputs. What is it that's actually in your control that you can handle? So when we go through the practices of the creative vision and the 7x7, the things that you're mentioning right now, and the combination of those two things, and always having an evergreen reservoir of inspiration and continuously curating content, but also seeing the feedback for each piece of content, knowing how to iterate upon it in a way that isn't overwhelming. All of those intangibles that's required for a creator to remain consistent, you start to pick at. And again, you already had a high skill level in regards to the putting together of content, the aesthetics of it. Now that the system's in place, it's like you're becoming a powerhouse in real time. You already have the eye for content. You're combining that now with value, and you're posting consistently. Now this is how you build a real audience that can champion you over time. Can you tell the audience right now how many followers you have at the current moment? Do you know?
Yes, I know, but they are always actualizing. So for now, okay, now like in the moment, I have already 74K of followers on Instagram. Yes, it's
Okay, so
crazy.
just so that everyone knows, and I'm sure we have screenshots that we can put this up on screen. 13,000 followers heading into the VIP coaching. At this current time, 74,000 followers, meaning that in a short span of time, you went from emerging creator to an advanced creator, which is unreal. And I
Yes.
am so proud of you to be able to continuously curate again the right audience for yourself. And just in regards to how much work you're pouring into this, I know that this is just the beginning. I have a question for you that's a little bit separate, but I really want to get this to be an answer because a lot of people hesitate when they think about a cohort style. So it's VIP coaching, but the cohort is the structure of how we do this. And you mentioned this a little bit before, but some people might hear cohort and they're thinking, great, I want the group experience. Some people may think of it and say, oh, I don't feel as though I'm going to get the right attention. I feel as though it's going to be intimidating because there's going to be a lot of people that are more advanced than me, or the opposite, as in maybe there's a lot of beginners and I don't necessarily feel like I should be with the beginners. How was the cohort structure like for you? How was the community that you developed within the VIP coaching?
The community in the VIP coaching for me was the most important thing to keep me on track in the process. Like that was the key to really go to the next level because I have my coaches and I love all my coaches. I love it. But you don't know like how much I learned from the people that were like doing the exact things of me. Because that was feedback for me too. They were in the same position of me. So when I saw that someone is doing something that works, I don't just flaps on the back. No, I just go like, hey, what are you doing that I'm not? Teach me, Like let's work together. And it's awesome because even now we still have a group. Like we still have a group of
Unreal.
cohort two and we sometimes chat and in private, like we still have those community. And when you have that, give you so much confidence to do things, to really feel that it's possible to achieve something. So I guess that for me, that part of the cohort was super important. It wasn't the same if I didn't have that in the time, because I was always have like me and now I need people around me to see.
It is such a discounted part of the journey where there's not many creators locally to us, right? Even if we think about us scrolling on social media a lot of times, it seems as though there's a lot of creators. But when I was in my university setting, there wasn't a single person that could relate to what I was having to do. There wasn't a single person there to encourage me and tell me, okay, even if the viewership wasn't there, hey, Jeannie, like, thank you for posting a piece of content. There was no one like that. There wasn't anyone to tell me that this is how you curate balance, or when you're in the midst of struggle, that here's some level of encouragement, or here's a solution for it. And when you have a group of other creators that are literally doing this with you, that a lot of them are full time professionals, a lot of them are full time entrepreneurs, some of them are full time creators, and there's always things that you can pick apart at different perspectives. And it's the coolest moment for us when we see some of you guys post a piece of content and we look at your comments. There's like four people from the cohort that's responding. And then you look at another piece of content, it's still like four different people that are responding from the cohort. And it just shows such a really cool aspect to the VIP coaching that we didn't necessarily intend for, but it just happened naturally in fruition. And the cohort two has a group chat, cohort one, I believe, has a group chat still going to this day, cohort three, and cohort four is already making it. So it's awesome to kind of see that portion of it. My question for you now to wrap this up, because you're unbelievable. You've been such a great stellar student for us. You don't surprise me at all at this point. So when I started to see your success, it wasn't necessarily as if, oh, I'm surprised that Veronica had this success. It was more of, it was only a matter of time, right? And the big thing that we always keep talking about is that what we do within the VIP coaching is never guarantee a certain number of viewership. It's never to guarantee a certain number of followers because all of that has an association with luck. But if we can build the right foundation of a personal brand together, when that luck comes your way, you know exactly what to do with it. So you didn't go from one viral video to literally increasing 1,000 followers. You went one viral video, then another, then another, and then another, and then another, and then another. And then now your audience is growing steadily over time. And again, I'm so beyond proud of you on a personal level.
Something important. I don't record content since 2 months ago, and I'm still having videos like out there. I just have the material to. Since I joined CC, like I just knew that it's gonna be hard months because I know myself mentally. And I say, I know that in 2 months I'm gonna be trying to sabotage myself. So I wanna have this plan to those doesn't get stuck to me. So I just say, first trials, they're an amazing way to just reproposing content. And also, I just take care of do this bunch of clips and really structurize the content that I wanted to have out in a way that was consistent for me because I knew that I would try to sabotage myself. I knew it. And then when that happened, I already have the content made. I have to post. And I just schedule the things to don't have any excuse to don't post. So yeah, That was
You're
good.
talking about you're talking about having a shot list, you're talking about having a system in place, you're talking about trial reels and the implication of all of that together in order
Yes.
for you to stay consistent, which is incredibly, incredibly powerful. So for you, if someone was on the fence for joining the VIP coaching, right? If someone was, let's say, thinking, okay, I've just listened to this entire interview with Veronica, she seems incredible, and I would love to follow in her footsteps. However, it feels as though it's a big investment for me. I'm not exactly sure if it's the right time for me. If someone is on the fence for joining VIP coaching, what would you directly say to them?
I will say, if you have that in mind, it's for a reason. Like God doesn't just put something in your mind because it is, and there's no anyone who is special. Everyone have the same amount of time. Everyone have the same hunger to do big things in their life. But the only difference between them and the person who is having success is that they do it. It's just that it can be cliche or simple, but you have to do it. Like it's just matter of time to have results. And that results, it doesn't mean that it's gonna be good or bad, but are gonna be results who's gonna let you have the right information to keep going and change and improve. But remember, there's no anyone special. You someone who do it. That's it. That was the thing that I was saying.
You're awesome, Veronica. I know that everyone's going to be coming out of this interview thinking, I need to support her, I need to champion her, and I hope that every single person goes to your page. So tell them where they can find you on social media.
I'm on Instagram for now, only on Instagram, as a veronicamaritza.com. That's it. That's my user. So you can find me there. We can be besties.
And I'm sure we'll have it in the description box below as well. Veronica, thank you so much for your time today.
Great.